Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. Now, we've all been saying for quite some time now that the SNP is inherently anti-Semitic. We know they hate Jews, they hate Jewish people, they hate Judaism, they hate the state of Israel. Very, very antagonistic towards the Jews in Scotland and indeed around the world. They are up the arse of Islam, we know that. All praise be and all that. Peace be among those who like to shag children. But that's the state of it, and we know this. But can we prove it? Well, by their actions shall ye know them. The Scottish Government switched off comments on an internal intranet article. So this is for inside the Scottish Government. This wasn't for external. This wasn't people coming in from outside and doing. This was for things inside the government. Marking Holocaust Memorial Day. So it was Holocaust Memorial Day. They had this article up there telling people it is, but they switched the comments off, and they did so deliberately. And the reason they did so was over the fears that their own staff, the SNP's own government's staff, would make inappropriate, offensive, discriminatory remarks about Holocaust Memorial Day. They were that scared of it because they knew how many people within the party are anti-Semitic and loathe the Jews. And so they switched off comments so that there'd be no evidence that people were saying these things. Emails have been released. This is under a Freedom of Information request, showing that the civil service management made the decision in the days leading up to January the 27th this year, which is International Memorial Day for the Holocaust. And Saltire is the internal intranet system used by the government staff, and it promoted this online event to commemorate, if that's the word, certainly not celebrate, but commemorate International Holocaust Day. And they even had a survivor there, a man by the name, I've got the record here somewhere, a man by the name of Peter Lantos, whose family, along with him, was sent to Bergen-Belsen. So not exactly a good place to be sent to. This is not Disneyland, is it? Although it's exactly the sort of thing, I think, that the SNP would love to set up again, given their particular view on Jews and the Jewish people and the Jewish religion. But in an email to Andrew Bruce, who's Director of Communications and Ministerial Support at the Scottish Government, and to Nicola Richards, who's Director of People, a civil servant, as she is, and her name is there is Nicola Servant's Director of People and a third civil servant whose name is redacted. They recommended that comments be turned off. And the reason, and let me read this to you because it's astonishing. We are concerned that this article could attract comments or debate linked to the ongoing conflict in Israel and Gaza, which would be deemed as inappropriate and could provoke or offend others. It would be discriminatory. It could be likely to result in distress and alarm. It would not be adhering to the value of impartiality set out in the Civil Service Code. That's a joke. And on that basis, and subject to your agreement, we recommend that the comments facility is switched off for this article. And for awareness, D&I, Diversity and Inclusion colleagues, have advised that colleagues will be required to submit questions for the panel in advance, and these will be moderated. The event host, Lorna Gibbs, will brief participants in advance of the questions, and cameras will face the speakers only and not the audience. They are shitting themselves that their anti-Semitism will be highlighted. Well, the very fact that they turned comments off does highlight that. The SNP are now, without doubt, and with this proof, anti-Semitic, and they were scared that they would be seen as such. Well, don't worry. Don't need to be scared. We all know. And there we go. Comments apparently are turned on by default, and they have to be switched off specifically when the government are scared of being caught out in their hatred for Jews. Think on it. Thanks very much. Bye.